This is the chance for young people at the Mother of Parliaments in the debating chamber to have their say and to debate their views on issues which they have decided are the most important to them.
Speaker! Morning. And what a joy it is to preside over such a calm and orderly chamber. The issues being debated today have been chosen by members of the Youth Parliament with the help of over 250,000 of your peers, and I think I'm right in saying and emphasising that of the 5 topics being debated, 4 were chosen by the public vote and 1 by MYPs themselves, namely Curriculum for Life. Today, of course, you are debating with a view also to choosing the issue which you wish to have as your national campaign. I call in order to read a message from the Prime Minister, Mr. Rahib Shabir.
Members of the UK Youth Parliament, I am delighted that you are gathering in the House of Commons today. This is your opportunity to debate the campaigns chosen by more than 250,000 young people. I want to thank the British Youth Council for organising such a big event. I wish you all the very success with the debate and I look forward to hearing your conclusions. Thank you.
Order. Order. The Youth Parliament will now consider the first motion of the day relating to public transport.
Public transport is a fundamental part of the lives of young people. I have a younger cousin who lives in a rural area, and I look in dismay in the idea that he and many other young people alike face a daily struggle to get to work, school and doctor's appointments.
By voting for UK Youth Parliament's campaign for the next year to make public transport cheaper, better and accessible for all, we are not giving the young people that we represent the justice that they deserve.
People do have a big issue going from point A to point B, and it's been known the transport is dirty and it's not safe for young people. What is the point in giving free education when young people can't get there?
And the Youth Parliament will consider the second motion of the day relating to getting ready for work.
Well, I'm 17 and yeah, it's important for me to think about getting ready for work. What about the 11, 12 and 13-year-olds that you and I represent? Is it a concern that they share?
The member for London said that 11, 12 and 13-year-olds don't need to worry about work experience. I'm 12 and my friends and the people who I speak to think that getting a good education to get a good job is very important.
You're taught in education that you prepare and everything you're learning will give you a job at the end. But if you don't have the skills to put that education into practice, what good will it be?
The Youth Parliament will consider the third motion of the day relating to marriage for all.
Well, people are allowed to have civil partnerships. They're not allowed to be referred to as husband or wife. And although marriage isn't for everyone, shouldn't it be something everyone's entitled to?
As someone who hasn't even had their first proper snog yet, I'm not sure I'm entirely qualified to talk about marriage. As young people, wouldn't we rather support being taught a relevant curriculum, given vocational training, paid a fair wage when we get our first jobs, or have better access to buses and trains to allow us to get to school and work? I would rather be well-informed, well-trained, well-paid, or well-travelled than well-married.
This is quite important, but more for the older generation because it concerns us later on in life. Is it really a main issue for us young people?
Order. Order. The Youth Parliament will consider the fourth motion of the day relating to an equal national minimum wage for all.
I don't see how it's fair that 16-year-olds can be doing exactly the same job for exactly the same hours, yet they get paid less than an 18-year-old or a 21-year-old. How is that fair?
The unequal minimum wage is so much a symptom of this wider problem. passing us a couple extra quid does not go far enough to solve it. If we make it even more unprofitable for companies to have us, then, Mr. Speaker, they just won't have us. They'll keep their profits and leave us with our youth unemployment.
My friend Andrew, right, he trains people, and because he's under 21, the people he trains make more money than him. Is that fair?
The fifth and last motion of the day for consideration by the Youth Parliament, and it relates to a curriculum to prepare for life.
Politics, sex, relationships, cultural awareness, community cohesion, finance skills, sustainable living. What's she just gone on about? What do they all mean? What do they mean to you? If you know, that's great. And if you don't, why don't you know? Is it something to do with the fact that it's not a part of the national curriculum?
So as you can see, this is just not a UK issue. It's an issue for all young people across the globe. So let the UK Youth Parliament lead the way. Let young people lead the way, because the decisions we make today will define our lives.
We have such a vague education system that doesn't really tell us why we're going to need to use this maths equation. It doesn't really tell us why we're going to need to use this piece of history. It doesn't make any sense. We need an education system that is concise and to the point, so young people know how to use the skills that they're going to learn today.
Order. Order. I now have the results of the vote. Public transport, 23 votes. Getting ready for work, 46 votes. Marriage for all, 22 votes. An equal national minimum wage for all, 50 votes. A curriculum to prepare us for life, 100 and... As someone used to say on Mastermind, I've started so I'll finish. 154 votes. Thank you, everyone. I want the last word, or words, to go to the Children's Minister. Please give a rapturous UK Youth Parliament welcome to Edward Timpson.
Mr. Speaker, sadly, we know young people are still all too easily demonised and written off in our society. But I would challenge anyone present here today or watching from elsewhere not to leave feeling seriously impressed and optimistic about young people and the contribution they're making to our society.
Speaking, it was amazing because I only wanted to speak in one debate, so I sat through the other debates, listening, agreeing, and when it came to my debate, I was like, I have to speak. So I was just burning with passion the whole time. It was just the best feeling ever.
This woman honestly is going to fall off her seat, and I wouldn't want to see that. That would be a sadness.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Young people are passionate about the issues that are affecting them. They are passionate about things that are happening around them. So there needs to be more vehicles like this where young people can voice their opinions and get their voices heard.
I think what we can do is learn from the last year and the decision to have the issue of transport as the number one campaigning issue of the Youth Parliament, and the very fact that they produced this report through their own select committee and it's gone to the Department for Transport and they're going to do an official select committee response within the 2 months which they have to do. It demonstrates that it's being taken seriously.
I think the government needs to start looking at young people as individual people, as people with personalities, with different skills and different traits that need to be assessed, as well as how well they can piece together a sentence.